All right, guys, we got Bo here. Thank you for
What's up, man?
taking part in this interview.
Absolutely.
Can you let people know what you do here?
Actually, we're on site at 2014 at Operation Faded Giant in Barnwell, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And we are excited about the events coming up here starting tomorrow. And right now we're just kind of hanging out, letting all the players get a piece of what's going on and walking through the AO like you did, which is, you thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. And just kind of getting everything ready, you know, getting things ready.
You guys shared a lot of information about the place, and it's probably incredibly vital considering I have a lot to shoot.
Yes.
And like you said, I only went through 20% of it.
And that took us it probably took us, what, 45 minutes to go through it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And you guys are going to see all the GoPro footage. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And you have no idea how dark it is in there. I had to adjust the light on the camera every single time when I went inside and outside.
And that was probably with using flashlights.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Exactly. So, unbelievable. The place is phenomenal. You know, we're very, very fortunate to get it. This is our third year, you know, and what we noticed, and you walked, it's your first time to see it, you know. So what we did notice is the first time we played a little bit too much inside, and then last year we think we played a little too much outside. So this year we think we finally got it packed to where it won't be obviously the perfect game, but we think we've got a
Faded Giant?
Yeah, Faded Giant 3. Yeah, we think we finally got it, you know, right where we want it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So will you be running with us?
Yes, I'm going to be a combat controller. So AMS, kind of a long story, but what we do is we have admin staff / owners out in the field playing as what we call a combat controller or ministry defense, and we help the game flow stay on track, if that makes sense. We don't really control anything. We don't call any shots. We're playing admin, but at the same time, if people need, you know, a kick in the rear, or they need information, or they need to know where they need to go for certain missions that are vital to the success, because most of our games are all based on points. We make sure that they're on track and they have what they need to have and they go where they need to go and stuff. So we're very, very involved. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
So apparently you work for LBX as well.
Correct. So that's right. So full time, I do actually two things. I run American Milsim with the three other owners, Rick, JP, and Blake, and I work for LBT. So as my employment at LBT, I help run the line called LBX, which is a new line that LBT has come out with in the last couple of years, and we're just now getting ramped up to where we'll have an entire new line, new core line, new uniforms, a lot of stuff coming. There's some stuff out now that's really great, but we're it's still the early stages of LBX.
Yeah. We've received some of them in Hong Kong, and we don't have the extra small size for the people that do live in Hong Kong, and I thank you for lending it to me.
Sure.
I'll take it back, and I have a friend who's about that size. I mean, I'm going to let you know if it fits him. And if it does, we're going to hopefully you can send a whole load to us.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the Project Honor Camo has the smaller sizes, and we are taking note of that. So the next run of camo that we're going to do, we're working on doing the extra small sizes as well.
Okay.
And I mean, that's our whole goal, is to be able to kind of touch every facet of airsoft, from the little guys to the great big fellas, you know, so, which is a good part. So we're looking forward to that.
So when it comes to your camouflage and the gear and the rifle bags that you have, where do you take your inspiration?
Well, you know, the new lines, we had a lot of guys that helped influence the new lines of our new patterns, Snow Raptor and Mantis and Cayman and Taipan. So we have our desert and our snowish kind of urban, and our green and kind of our transitional, which is similar to the multicam. And their inspiration came from a couple of guys that are MARSOC guys, CAD guys that have been involved in designing camos before, and I think some of them had something to do with AR1 and 2, and we worked on these new patterns having less blobbing at greater distances, or globbing. So apparently as the distance increases between the camo and where you are, the pattern somewhat moves and changes and adheres to where it is, so that way it's easier for the camo to work. I know it sounds crazy, but that's kind of the science behind it. But there is a lot of science behind the new patterns. We're just really anxious to get them out.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
So you'll be running with LBX or T gear?
LBX. Very good question. Yes. So we do a little bit of mixture. A lot of the inspiration, and not to use that question, but that's how you wanted it answered, but a lot of the inspiration from the LBX line obviously comes from the great success of LBT over the past years. So we've taken a lot of that, but then LBT recognizes that the industry of airsoft milsim is not quite the same. So they want to take influence from the players about what is needed. You know, like if you go out and play and there's a certain piece that you're like, my gosh, I wish I could have something that does this. And we've listened to a lot of players with the new mini map, and you guys will see that when it comes out here soon. But it's a functional product that's good for any facet of airsoft and milsim, and using the LBT heritage and sewing and manufacturing and stuff. So it's cool. We're very excited about it. I think the cool thing is LBT recognizes this industry of how big it really is, and they want to put their influence in it and build some great products.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be on which side today? Or
I
in
will
fact,
be
tomorrow and the day
tomorrow.
after?
I will be on the COST, Coalition of Sovereign Territories. So
All
I
right.
play as, that's all I play. I've played that since day one, but not saying I wouldn't switch, but that's what I've been on forever.
Okay. And so what are you running with? What is your main inside?
I am running with a Elite Force CRS that has been modified with a Polar Star fusion engine with a Redline tank.
Okay.
So I'll be running that as far as my rifle. I roll between that and a UMP by Elite Force. And I do have a 416C that I wired to the back because I want to use a real PEQ in the front. And with the fake battery on the 416C, you can't do that. So, but my primary rifle is the C, and then I'll be wearing a new Chris Costa, which is part of our new line for LBX. His front plate carrier with a 6094 from LBT cummerbund to make it more functional. So I'm kind of mixing the equipment now until I get what I want. That's really where I'm going with. And we have a new helmet cover that I'll be wearing too that's excellent. I'm anxious for you to see that too.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely have a look.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So what kind of style of play do you have? Do you use a C-clamp, thumb of the bore, or do you hold it at the mag well? Or does it usually depend?
I do a little bit of both. You know, I do see a lot of guys using the C-clamp, and I do see the benefit of that. I'm not really a really trained real steel shooter per se. I have shot quite a bit, but I'm still learning. But personally, I usually like the tucked in, using more. I have a bad habit, whether it's good or bad, kind of holding the mag well. You know, I hold up underneath the mag and I keep everything tight, and that's kind of how I've shot for a while. I'm using and transitioning to the C-clamp, and I do that at times, but I find myself more than not, grabbing the mag for some reason.
All right, great. Yeah. You know what? Thank you so much for
you got it, man. I've enjoyed it. Thanks so much. We appreciate you guys, all the support for American Milsim and obviously RedWolf.
Yeah, and all the information will be in the description below.
Yep.